Hello and welcome to Car Shield Collegiate League TV. Beautiful Car Shield Field, a beautiful Sunday, Tuesday afternoon for baseball. Shane Holsey, Will Connolly with you. Charlie Bornoff producing for us this afternoon. Full slate of baseball once again here this afternoon. 3 games, one here at noon, and then a doubleheader at 5:30. Hopefully the rain stays away. It looks like it will, so hopefully we'll have Hopefully we'll have 3 games of baseball. Sorry for that audio glitch there, but hopefully we'll have 3 ball games today, and hopefully we can get them all in. Gems and Falcons here in game number 1. Gems will be the home team. Falcons are the away team. We'll read you through the lineup. For the visiting Falcons, Alex Hoff leads off in center field. Ben Swords is at third base. He hits second. Wade Stouse is at first. He hits third. Cade Hull, the shortstop, hits fourth. Austin Schmidt, the designated hitter, hits fifth. Colin Parrish, the right fielder, hits sixth. Ian Hickman, the left fielder, hits 7th. Brandon Olm, the catcher, hits 8th. And Nick Hoffman is at second base, rounding out the order. And the Falcons will face the left-hander, the Holy Cross commit, Gus Poulos, making his 3rd start, 4th appearance on the mound for the Gems. And at 12:02 p.m., Gus Poulos delivers ball 1 to Alex Hoff, and we are underway from Car Shield Field. The Falcons coming in 4-7-1. They've scuffled as of late. They sit in 6th place here in the Car Shield Collegiate League. The Gems an even 500 at 5-5. And that's popped into foul territory. Nick Wilkie at first base gives it a look, but it goes out of play. We'll read you through the defensive lineup for the Gems. We'll start with the outfielders. Jacob Gentry is in left field. Jack Rigoni in center. Ryan Malzahn in right field. Tommy Woods at third base. Lane Barrymore at shortstop. Tate Wargo at second base. Nick Wilkie at first base. Matt Westfall behind the plate catching Gus Poulos. And a 1-1 count. Alex Hoff and a swing and a miss. One and 2 count right off the bat here to Alex Hoff, leading off playing center field for Josh Kiesel's Falcons, trying to right the ship. 4-7-1 record. And that's popped into foul territory. Malzahn gives chase, but it's out of play. Hoff 6 hits and 30 at-bats so far this summer with a home run. A couple of runs driven in. He's scored 4 runs. 1 and 2 count here against Gus Poulos, making his 3rd start. Last time he pitched was against these Falcons, went 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. And Hoff pops that one once again into foul territory. This one's going to stay in play. And Nick Wilkie puts it away for out number 1. So Gus Poulos retires the first man he sees here in the top of the 1st.
There's your P3 to start the day.
Nice little Kiesel to get things started. Again, Josh Kiesel, one of the co-founders of Premier Pitching and Performance. Several P3 trainees here in this Car Shield Collegiate League. As Ben Swords fouls that one out of play.
There's one on the mound today for the Falcons, and hasn't he been a treat to watch? The opposing pitcher for the Falcons who will take the mound next half inning, Devin Radke.
He's been electric. I'll tell you more about him when he takes the mound in the bottom of the 1st. Falcons looking to give him a lead here in the top half. Beautiful day for baseball. Temperatures in the mid-80s. A little bit cooler here today than it has been in days past. Beautiful day for baseball. And fingers crossed, no rain.
And we'll see if the ball will be flying out of the ballpark like it has been in the past few days. The wind, if you look at that American flag in center field, is blowing a little bit out.
Blowing out towards left field, left center.
And we saw, after a string of a lot of good pitching matchups, we got to see the offense come out these past few days. And I think the trend is the ball was flying out of the ballpark mainly because of the wind.
2-2 from Poulos. It's hit in the shallow center. Lane Barrymore won't get there, and it drops in between he and Rigoni for a base hit. Dropped in no man's land out there in shallow center and a base hit for Swords.
Base hit for Swords. Talk about him some more, hitting .333 coming into this game. A big-time bat. And he continues to produce, has a really good swing and a really good approach at the plate. We saw him hit his first home run of the summer just a few days ago. Very good bat through the zone.
Very patient eye at the plate as well. 9 walks so far this summer, getting on base over 54% of the time coming into play.
That's what you want out of the top of the lineup, especially when you got guys like Wade Stouse and Austin Schmidt in the meat of that order. They got some meat in the middle of this order, don't they?
They sure do. And that's laced into left field. Gentry retreats and makes the catch. Another well-struck ball by Wade Stouse, this time to the opposite field. But Gentry puts it away for the second out. The ball just sounds loud coming off of Wade Stouse's bat. It seems like every time he makes contact, just one of those sounds that just echoes throughout the ballpark.
I mean, and a lot of pitchers are pitching him up and away now, it seems like, because right in that wheelhouse is down and in for a left-handed hitter, and we've seen him do damage when people try to come low and into Wade Stouse. So they haven't put too much of a shift on him all that often, but they shade him a little bit to the right, but beware when you pitch inside to him, so maybe he tries to make an adjustment.
That's popped up by Cade Hull. We might have another Kiesel here as Nick Wilkie puts it away for out number 3. So a scoreless first inning for Gus Poulos. He works around the base hit by Swords. Jim's coming to bat. Devin Radke takes the mound right after this for the Falcons. No scores. We head to the bottom of the first here on Carshield Collegiate League TV. A scoreless top of the first for Gus Poulos, and now Devin Radke takes the hill for the Falcons. We'll read you through the lineup he will face for the 5-5 Gems. Jack Ragoni leads off. Tate Wargo hitting second. Kellen Cunningham, the designated hitter, hits third. Tommy Woods hits fourth. Ryan Malzahn hits fifth. Matt Westfall hits sixth. Lane Barrymore hits seventh. Nick Wilkie hits eighth. And Jacob Gentry rounds out the order in the 9 spot for Justin Paulson's 5-5 Gems. Right in the middle of the pack at the Carshield Collegiate League, right at 500. Winners of 3 of their last 4 after winning their first 2 games, dropped 4 straight, and now winners of 3 of their last 4. As Jack Ragoni fouls that one out of play, 1-1. Interesting path for Mr. Ragoni. We've talked about this the past couple of days. Played his freshman season at SIU Edwardsville, started all 51 games in center field as a freshman, and then took his talents to Jefferson College this past spring as a sophomore and tore up the batter's box and the base pass, 25 stolen bases, hit over 300, was doing it all for Jefferson College before the stoppage.
Elite speed. It was some of the tops in the country that he had 25 stolen bases on 25 attempts. And obviously look for him to transfer to a big Division I school out of Jefferson College. Very talented and speedy outfielder.
As he ropes that one to his counterpart in center field, Alex Off, and he puts it away.
And it's good that schools look at him. He already has that Division I starting experience. When you mention an interesting path that one may take.
Tate Wargo now with one away and nobody on. Hitting second in the order, playing second base. Devin Radke coming into today's ball game, 9 straight scoreless innings. He's worked 9 1/3 so far this summer, just 1 run.
And this is the first time he's thrown to Brandon Olm. I believe this is one of the first times he's been the backstop, because mainly we've seen Austin Schmidt or Wade Stouse as the catcher.
1-2 count. Good start in the first couple of hitters here for Radke, getting ahead in the count. 1-2 here on Tate Wargo. Radke the last time out against the Corn Belters. A week ago, last Tuesday. 4 innings, 1 run, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks.
And those 2 walks, not very characteristic for Radke. He's had 12 strikeouts and just 3 walks on the summer, making his 5th appearance, but first start. Look for him to go a handful of innings today.
As that's cued into right field and a base hit for Tate Wargo with 1 away. He's on base.
I believe the coaching staff, Josh Kiesel, wants to stretch out Radke. This making his first start of the summer. You've seen him 4 times out of the bullpen, and as you mentioned, Shane, he's been really impressive. That scoreless innings streak, he was on 9 and also 12 strikeouts. He's only allowed 1 earned run this entire summer. And he's just looked really good.
Has not given up an earned run since his first outing. That was back on July 3rd against the Eagles. So going on almost 3 weeks without giving up a run. An earned run, that is. Nice pick over there at first by Stouse. As Radke checked on Wargo. Good speed over there at first base. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Right smack dab in the middle of the week, right smack dab in the middle of the day. Today's first game of 3. Busy week for baseball as that gets away from Ulm and goes into the dugout. And Tate Wargo will have second base. So the wild pitch for Radke, and Wargo advances to second base. He's now in scoring position for Cunningham.
Cunningham already with 5 runs batted in this summer. Hitting third, the DH today, but he's hit .381 this summer. We've seen his power, launching a moonshot home run. As a home run mentioned, 5 runs batted in. A chance for another one here to give his Gems the lead.
Had a swing on 2-0 and fouled that one out of play. Radke trying to hold Wargo at second base. After he advanced on the wild pitch, a base hit to right field. So each team with a base hit in the first inning. No scoring just yet. No score here in the bottom of the first. Gems threatening with a runner in scoring position and 1 away. 2-1 count to Kylan Cunningham. Now 2-2. He knew he missed a good pitch right there. Got a fastball up in the zone and fouled it away. Cunningham headed to St. Charles Community College, so the Cougars getting themselves a fine outfielder with a lot of power.
And a cannon as well.
Cannon, good speed as well.
Saw him cut down a couple runners. That was very impressive from right
In the same
field.
game.
Because we saw it happen the first time, okay. And then there's another ball out there we were like, okay, it's coming again. And he just guns down 2 perfect throws from right field to second base. And like you mentioned, powerful arm, powerful bat, and a big-time addition coming from a powerful junior college before, Wabash Valley.
Wargo takes off for third base. The throw down by Ohm is high, and Swords a nice play to save a run potentially. Stolen base for Wargo. That's brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA, the Y for Youth Development, Healthy Living, and Social Responsibility. Kylan Cunningham goes down on strikes for the second out, and now Tommy Woods.
Interesting that Wargo is in motion there, but now Radke has a chance to strand the runner at third base with 2 outs, the go-ahead run.
First stolen base of the summer for Wargo on his first attempt as that goes to the backstop. A good hop, and the throw to the plate is dropped by Radke as he couldn't hold on to the baseball on the tag, and Wargo scores the first run of the ball game.
He had him, too. He had him until the ball got popped out of the glove, and it looked like he was going to be a very favorable bounce back for the Falcons.
It was. Bounced right back to Ohm. He made a good toss to Radke, but Radke just couldn't quite hang on as he tried to slap the tag on Wargo. As you mentioned, if Radke holds onto that baseball, Wargo is likely toast. 2-1 count here to Tommy Woods. So quite possibly the most patient eye at the plate we've seen. He's walked 13 times in 31 plate appearances. Despite a 118 average, getting on base 51% of the time, and he pops that one out to short. Cade Hull is camped underneath it, and he puts it away for the third out. So Tate Wargo scores on the wild pitch, and the Gems have a 1-0 lead as we head to the second inning. You're watching Carl Shield Collegiate League TV. A reminder this inning brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics for almost 25 years, since 1996. Their 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility is on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or electronics in need of recycling, you can give Interco a call at 1-877-258-3601. Or you can visit them on the web at itcscrap.com. That's 1-877-258-3601. or itcscrap.com on the web. Our friends at Interco Recycling, a Metaltronics recycler since 1996. Austin Schmidt leads things off for the Falcons here in the second. A scoreless first inning for Gus Poulos, and now he has a 1-run lead as Tate Wargo comes across the score on the wild pitch. And the Gems score the first run of the ball game. Tate Wargo hit a base hit to right field, advanced to second base on a wild pitch, stole third base, and then came across on the wild pitch to make it 1-0 Gems. Gus Poulos back out for inning number 2, facing Austin Schmidt. A base hit in the first inning for Ben Swords, but nothing doing for the Falcons. 5, 6, and 7. Schmidt, Parrish, and Hickman. Here in the second, Schmidt serving as a designated hitter this afternoon. One and two count here to Mr. Schmidt, the league's RBI leader. Can only drive in himself here. Nobody on here to lead off the inning. 4 home runs, 14 driven in. 12 for 35 on the summer. That's 343, getting on base 41% of the time. And he ropes that one into center field. But no problem out there for Jack Rigoni for out number 1. Got a good piece of it, but hit it right at Rigoni for the first out. So a good piece of 2-strike hitting, but just unfortunate luck there for Schmidt. He's retired for out number 1. And now the Quincy University Hawk, Colin Parrish, steps in with 1 away and nobody on. Lefty on lefty here. He's first pitch swing and fouls it out of play. Parrish 2 for 14 on the summer. Has walked 3 times, driven in a run. One of those hits has gone for 2 bases. And that one is going to get down in the left center field gap. A diving attempt by Rigoni, but to no avail, and Colin Parrish has a base hit.
Third hit of the summer for Colin Parrish. He likes to go the other way. He's had a couple hits to left field. Has a nice stroke. He opens stance, and he's more prone to go to left field a lot of the time against left-handed pitchers because they try to run it in on his hands. But he has a good bat path. He has good, quick hands through the zone, and almost a highlight reel play for Rigoni again.
He's made a couple of them out there. Cut down a runner the other day. And there goes Parrish on the first pitch. The throw down by Westfall is too high, and Colin Parrish swipes second base. That stolen base brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA, the Y for Youth Development, Healthy Living, and Social Responsibility. So Colin Parrish swipes second base.
Running on his college teammate Matt Westfall, both at Quincy University.
Sure, we've seen that in some inter-squad scrimmages, some practices up at Quincy University.
Maybe so.
1-1 count here to Ian Hickman playing left field. Colin Parrish swipes his second bag. He's 2 for 2 on stolen bases. The Falcons have now stolen 15 bases in 17 tries.
And that's in 12 games, too. Coming into today, playing 12 games, they've hit 13 home runs as a team and also have hit 13 doubles in 12 games. So they're an offense that those extra base hits will pile up. They've got a lot of sluggers, but also move well on the base pass.
Speed with Hoff and Hole and Parrish, and the power of Sword, Staus, Schmidt. Hasn't all quite come together in the form of wins and losses, but they can slug the ball out of the ballpark and they can run on the base pass.
Michael Long with that big pop, he's been swinging the bat really well.
Plenty of extra base hits to go around.
He's someone that's not in the lineup this afternoon, but we've been impressed with the way he's been able to swing the bat. But interesting time, because last time you mentioned old MICDS faithful might be happy to see a little MICDS action when Poulos faced Long last time. You talked about, oh, must be a tough decision of who to root for.
Coach Tim Canavan over at MICDS said it's like trying to pick between your kids. Almost impossible. And there goes Parrish again, and that's hit into right field, and Parrish is going to score rather easily on the base hit. The throw from Malzahn is well too late, and Parrish scores the first run of the ball game. Hickman with an RBI base hit ties the game at 1. First RBI of the summer for Hickman, and it ties the ball game at 1 here in the top of the second.
Good job of this bottom of the order producing right now for the Falcons. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Each of them only have 2 hits on the summer each. And so Parrish notching a hit, Hickman notching a hit, that's big because, yeah, the top of the lineup we mentioned really produces for the Falcons. But if Kiesel can get the bats to swing it at the bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're going to look there. That lineup will lengthen, and that will just make the middle of the order even more dangerous with the guys on base.
And that was what was evident early in the season when the Falcons were scoring a lot of runs. The bottom of the order was getting on base, and the top of the order was driving him in. As of late, that hasn't really been the case. Trying to turn things around here today, 4, 7, and 1 coming into play.
Back-to-back knocks from the 6th and 7th place in the order. 6, 7, 8, 9 all but below that Mendoza line just with 2 hits apiece. But things can turn around, and you look at lineups all across baseball, and when you can have a 6, 7, 8 hitter still produce, it's so important to lengthen out that lineup to put more stress on the pitcher.
And Olm pops that one in the foul territory. That goes out of play for strike 2. So 6 and 7 hitters with base hits. The 8th place hitter, Olm, trying to come through.
And when we talk about hitters and lineups, when we can't talk about lineups that scare you without talking about teams like the LA Dodgers. I mean, look at their 8th place hitters. They got a Kiki Hernandez. They got somebody that's really good. That their whole lineup is really good, and it's just that's why it's so deadly. Not the 3-4 per se, and because your 3-4 may be a Cody Bellinger and a Chris Taylor, and you got Jock Peterson in there and Max Muncy. Mookie Betts is going to get sandwiched in the middle of the order, and so you just have so many. AJ Pollock, another good. So you have so many great players that it's like hitting 8th is no disrespect when you're on a team like that.
Not at all. As Brandon Olm works a walk, he's had a patient eye at the plate so far this summer. That's his 10th walk, and he's on base. First and second.
You're going to have 2 MVPs in 1 outfield, and that's just going to be insane. I mean, we talk about lineup length. That's it right there. You can't, especially with the designated hitter now, you don't want to face anybody in that order. I mean, you got the 7th, 8th place hitters, guys who have hit 30 home runs and over 300. Man, it's going to be – I'm excited for this sprint. Can you tell?
I can tell.
You can tell. Starting tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
Here we go.
Can't believe it's already here.
And tonight, we got to have some dual screen action for you guys. We know the St. Louis Cardinals playing a little scrimmage against Mr. Matheny and the Royals.
Mr. Matheny, now the bench coach for Kansas City Royals, as Nick Hoffman fouls that one out of play. Of course, Mike's son, Tate, playing for the Corn Belters. He'll be in action tonight as well. As Corn Belters take on the Cavemen at 5:30. Full slate of baseball today and tomorrow, 3 games. And Hoffman grounds that one to third. Woods from his knees to second, and that's all they'll get. Tommy Woods saves a potential run as Hoffman grounds into the fielder's choice. And Woods a nice play to get the runner at second.
Poulos just a pitch away now.
Hickman advances to third. Hoffman now at first for the top of the order. Alex Hoff, his Maryville teammate. There goes Hoffman for second. No throw by Westfall. So Hoffman swipes the bag. That stolen base brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA. The Y for youth development, healthy living, social responsibility.
The southpaw's got a big leg kick. You can go on first move. even if he decides to go over and is doing a read pickoff, they still have a lot of time to get to second, or at least the fielders still have to have everything go right to get the ball from first to second and apply the tag correctly. And when you have a big leg lift like that, your time to the plate's not going to be as quick. It doesn't need to be as quick as a left-hander, but you also have to keep him honest with the pickoff move. Because some lefties, Shane, will do a read pickoff where you kick your leg up and you basically, okay, I'm going to go over. I'm thinking I'm going to go over once they go, but if not, I'm going to go home. And some obviously predetermine it. And I think that at least mixing in that read or at least leg lift where you look at them for a little bit, it requires a lot of balance and practice, but you can keep the runner honest when you can mix up your look. Because we saw Parrish and Hoffman just take off on the first offering from the left-hander.
And like I said, you just have to keep the runners honest. Just keep them, just maybe throw over there one time. So maybe in the back of their mind, they're thinking, oh, he might throw over right here. Maybe I shouldn't get as big of a lead.
Yeah, and if you see him take off, that's why some pitchers can't do it because, when they cross, because he did the leg lift there because that sometimes deters a runner from going, but he went on first move. But sometimes the leg lift can deter runners from going because they think, oh, he could go over still. But once that knee crosses, he goes. But he was already going once the leg was lifted. So he had a great chance, especially Hoffman, who has a lot of speed, to get to second base successfully.
2 stolen bases in the inning, one by Parrish, one by Hoffman. A couple of runners in scoring position for Alex Hoff. That's down the third base line and a foul ball, just foul.
And Tommy Woods couldn't get to it. It had to be foul. He has great range at third base. He's made some highlight reel plays.
Made a nice play on the ground ball by Hoffman just a few moments ago. Got the runner at second base. He's made a few sliding plays, a diving play, saved extra bases.
The hot corner's been nice. How about Andy Bunton the other day making the play of the day?
We've seen some fine defensive plays at third base this summer. Another 2-2 coming from Poulos. That's a pop foul. We'll do it again. Good at bat here for Hoff.
I mean, we're probably due to see everything on the baseball field. You got 90 games in about 40 some odd days. We're going to see everything. Home runs, strikeouts, web gems. When the Gems are playing, web gems. But you'll see a lot of that. And we've seen everything, it feels like.
We've seen a little bit of everything. Another pop-up in the right field, and Malzahn is underneath it. Falcons trying a couple of runners in scoring position. They do get a run in the inning on the base hit by Hickman. We head to the bottom of the second. We're through 1.5. We're all even at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Jim's coming to bat. Ryan Malzahn will lead things off for the Gems, 5, 6, and 7 against Devin Radke. Gems scored a run in the first inning on a wild pitch. Falcons responded with a base hit by Ian Hickman. And we're all knotted up at 1. Shane Holsey, Will Connerly here on Carshield Collegiate League TV. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching, however you're watching, as Malzahn ropes that one down the right field line and a fair ball as it hops over the wall, down that short right field wall down the right field line, and a leadoff double for Ryan Malzahn.
The SEMO commit has some nice speed and nice power. 5 hits so far this summer in the Carshield Collegiate League. 3 of them have gone for extra bases as doubles. Already getting in scoring position here for Mr. Westfall.
Matt Westfall, the Quincy University backstop, hitting 6th for Justin Paulson here this afternoon with an early RBI chance. A leadoff double by Malzahn. And the Gems scored in the first, threatening here again in the second against the stingy Devin Radke.
We saw Westfall get things started in the Carshield Collegiate League. Oh, didn't we? With a big-time bomb.
Still one of the longest home runs we've seen. Hit off that screen in left field, protecting those houses back there. There's a neighborhood just beyond the left field wall.
He's got 3 knocks so far this summer, a couple singles, and then a line drive home run.
And he's going to do a job here as he hits that one to the right side. And a play by Hoffman on to first. And Westfall moves the runner over, and now for his former Quincy University teammate, Lane Barrymore.
That's a great execution. You work on that in batting practice. Get him over, get him in. And now it's up to Barrymore to complete the second half of that statement, get him in. Well, obviously, Ryan Malzahn did it by getting on. Westfall got him over, and it's up to Mr. Barrymore.
There's a good breaking ball, but it missed just a bit upstairs to Barrymore.
These are the situations that good offensive teams do the job any way they can.
Barrymore's driven in 3 runs so far this summer, looking for number 4 to give the Gems the lead here in the early innings for the second time. 1-1 count. Radke working from the windup with a runner on third base and 1 away. And there's strike 2, a good fastball.
Barrymore just looking to potentially get a ground ball.
Infield back. Fights that one off. Just got a piece.
Any way you can right here. Nothing gives a coach more fits than a batter striking out with a runner on third base and less than 2 outs. Paulson trying to barehand that one over at third base, the manager for the Gems.
Doesn't quite have the soft hands to field that ground ball barehanded.
Former pro ball player.
And that one gets away from Ulm, and Malzahn is going to score. So a pass ball, and Malzahn comes across to score. Second run of the ball game for the Gems, and they take the lead.
Hey, for the Gems, that's a job done. They get the run across any way you can,
Any way you get them in.
You take what you're given.
Takes away the RBI from Barrymore. But nonetheless, a 2-1 lead for the Gems. And Barrymore, meanwhile, working a nice at-bat here. This will be pitch number 8. And that's a pop down the first base line. Stouse giving chase, and it's going to drop foul.
You mentioned take the RBI chance away. Barrymore has 4 hits this summer, all singles, but 3 runs batted in. He's kind of made the most of those hits, hitting 200 on the summer.
Trying to get on base and get another rally started. Nick Wilkie on deck. He'll follow Barrymore. So a couple of errant pitches have brought in 2 runs for the Gems, and Barrymore, ground ball up the middle, hole to his left. A nice play, sets his feet and fires, and dug out by Stouse.
A great scoop there by Stouse.
Nice play on both ends, hole with the range going up the middle to his left. is a little easier play for a shortstop going to his left versus going to his right.
And good at bat for Lane Barrymore. 7 to 8 pitches sometimes. A 10 pitch at bat that can take a pitcher out of the game earlier in, say, the 4th or 5th inning when you look down the road in the game. I know they're trying to get more length out of Radke today. They've seen him do great things out of the bullpen. Now getting the start, but you got to give credit to Barrymore for battling in that at bat and making Radke work.
Didn't go down without a fight, and a run scored while he was at the plate, albeit not an RBI, but nonetheless, the Gems take the lead 2-1. Now Nick Wilkie trying to get something started with 2 away. And he hits that one hard to right field. Parrish makes a basket catch down the right field line. So the Gems, for the second straight inning, score a run. They take a 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the second, or to the third, rather. Again, this inning brought to you by our friends at Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. Their 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facilities on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, computers, or electronics in need of recycling, you can give Interco a call at 1-877-258-3601, or you can visit them on the web at itcscrap.com. Interco Recycling, a metal electronics recycler since when, Will?
1996.
Absolutely.
Ben Swords, Wade Stouse, and Cade Hull due up for the Falcons here in the top of the third inning. They'll work against the left-hander who's back out for his third inning of work, Gus Poulos, the Holy Cross commit and former MICDS standout. This is the left-hander who works predominantly from the third base side of the rubber, gets that first pitch in there for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count against Ben Swords, who's 1 for 1. Had a single in the first inning. He's hitting .333 on the summer with a couple doubles and a home run. So he fouls that one back. Plays in the infield at Webster University. Gus Poulos making his third start of the summer. Misses inside with that pitch. A ball and 2 strikes. Poulos coming into today had 8 innings pitched and 10 strikeouts while surrendering 5 earned runs. That's grounded to Tommy Woods at third base. Throws it over to Nick Wilkie. And Poulos retires Ben Swords for the first out here in the top of the third. That brings up Wade Stouse, who flew out to left field last time. Kind of got jammed, but still had the strength to fly that one deep into the outfield as Jacob Gentry went back to make that catch back in the first inning. And they shift Wade Stouse a little bit. There's Lane Barrymore a couple steps away from second base. So a gap on that left side. And then Tate Wargo, the second baseman, in right field. Off of what would be the infield, would be the dirt here on a turf field. That pitch taken upstairs. In that green area, that signifies the outfield. You got to play this slugger deep. 3 home runs on the summer. A double, he's hitting .314. A ball and a strike as Poulos delivers the pitch. A swing and a miss, a ball and 2 strikes now on Wade Stouse, the SEMO catcher. Got to find a way to put this bat in the lineup somehow. You had a couple talented SEMO backstops in this league. As Poulos gets the sign and nods from Westfall, the 1-2 offering. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It was missed upstairs. Cade Hole is next, with 1 away here in the top of the 3rd inning in a 2-1 ball game. Poulos working with the lead for his Gems. Stouse drills this one to right. It's off the car shield sign. He hit it a mile, but he'll only go 90 feet. As Wade Stouse is on first base with a single.
Might be the hardest hit, farthest single of his life.
Well, that ball would have kept going for a while. The car shield sign had to pay for that one. As he drilled that ball to right field. But as you mentioned, just advances to first base. So Wade Stouse 1 for 2 today with a single. Gets on with 1 out for Cade Hole as Poulos now moves to the stretch and delivers the first offering to Hole inside for a strike.
We can't overlook Ryan Malzahn out in right field. That's never an easy play off that big wall in right field, but he played it very nicely off the wall and fired it right back in. Held Stouse at first base.
Stouse, the runner at first. Poulos trying to work around the 1-out single. That ball likely gone at most ballparks because it would have kept going for a while.
That wall is some 30 feet high, and that car shield sign juts up another 5 feet or so, and it hit right near the top of it.
As Hole swings through the offering, a ball and 2 strikes in a 2-1 ball game. Poulos working with the lead as the Gems have notched a run in the first and second off of Devin Radke, who came into this game with 9 consecutive scoreless innings. That ball's grounded to the left side. One of the runs against Radke unearned as it came on the pass ball. As Cade Hole hits here with a 1-ball, 2-strike count and 1 away in the top of the 3rd. Cade Hole, a commit to Purdue University. Going to be a Boilermaker. He fouls that one off to the left side. He was a Billiken, a junior Billiken with SLU High School.
Facing one of his former summer ball teammates as well, Gus Poulos on the St. Louis Gamers.
And a guy on deck, Austin Schmidt, also played some ball with the Gamers. That ball's popped away. Gamers a select organization in the St. Louis area. Talk about Schmidt, and he's had such a great summer so far. It's good to see him kind of find his groove, taking his talents from the St. Louis area to University of Louisiana Monroe, and at Jefferson College now going to Lindenwood. But he's had a great summer so far, and now he comes to the plate with 2 outs as Cade Hole lines out to the shortstop Lane Baremore. 2 away and 1 on. Wade Stouse had the single, but it had the distance for a home run as he drilled it off that car shield sign in right field. And that ball was still going, but the wall stopped it. The big wall there in right field as Stouse gets on with a single. Would have been cool to see the exit velocity and metrics on that one. You would have seen the home run projection probably at most ballparks. A swing and a miss on the first offering. 0-1 the count. Austin Schmidt hitting .343 this summer. The designated hitter today, we've seen him catch as well. 14 runs batted in, 4 home runs. Both at the top for the entire league as Schmidt calls time. 0-1 count against Gus Poulos, the left-hander, working in his 3rd inning. There's a little bit of action. Sam Lemkool, the left-hander, getting loose for the Gems. Schmidt fouls this one back. 0-2 the count. Here in the top of the 3rd, a 2-1 Gems lead. 2 away. As Ben Swords grounded out to start the inning, Wade Stouse had a single. And Cade Hole Lined out to Lane Baremore, bringing up Austin Schmidt, who's now hitting in a no-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. And 1 on in the top of the third, trying to get back the run that the Gems had last half inning, but he gets rung up on strike 3. He disagrees with that call, but Poulos strands the single. We send it to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Gems. Nine 1-2 for the Gems in the bottom of the third. They come to the plate with a 2-1 lead working against Devin Radke. Radke, the starting pitcher today, back out for his third inning of work. Nine in a third and just 1 earned run coming into this appearance, but the Gems have scratched across a run. And each of the first 2 innings, the one in the second, was unearned against the right-hander, who has 1 strikeout today and works on an 0-2 count to Gentry, who pops this one up towards the shortstop Cade Hole, backtracking to get it, but it drops in no man's land. And Gentry has himself a single to start off the bottom of the third, his 5th hit of the summer. A tough play to make for everybody. It drops right in that Bermuda Triangle where nobody's at.
The Falcons got a hit like that a couple innings ago out in center field off the bat of, I believe it was Ian Hickman. Or no, that wasn't Hickman. That was Swords.
As Radke comes set and delivers the pitch. The first offering is taken for a strike against Jack Rigoni, the center fielder, who was at Jefferson College this past spring. As Radke takes a look over at Gentry, the runner at first base. Falcons 4-7-1. The Gems 5-5. A full slate of action today in the Car Shield Collegiate League. The 0-1 offering, a broken bat. Will it be enough to get 2? No, they'll go over to first and get Rigoni, though, as Gentry advances. The ball wasn't hit hard enough to get 2, as Radke's fastball broke Rigoni's bat in half. A clean break right there, but Gentry advances to second.
Split it right in half, right in the middle, right in the skinny part of the bat, and as it starts to widen out near the barrel.
It's always fun as a pitcher to get a broken bat off someone. Obviously, you want to be careful with some lumber flying towards you at the mound, but you know you made a pretty good pitch if you can get someone to break their bat, hitting it nowhere near the sweet spot. That's what you want. Weak contact. No, you're making good pitches, but you're not going to double up Jack Rigoni all too often. So they go and get the sure out at first base as Gentry advances to second. And Tate Wargo, the Akron Zip, comes to the box. The 0-1. 1-1 the count. As the pitch misses low, a ball, a strike, 1 out, and 1 on. As the Gems have a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the third inning. Tate Wargo 2 for 15 this summer. Notched a single back in the first and came around to score on a wild pitch. The only 2 runs that the Gems have scored are on a wild pitch in the first and a pass ball in the second. As Radke delivers the breaking ball that misses low. Radke has a ton of movement on his fastball. It's a sinker, it seems like, from our vantage point. It runs down in the zone. It does a great job of getting those ground balls. He's gobbled up 3 ground balls today. The 2-1 pitch missed away.
And at 6'6", even though he's kind of in that 3/4 arm slot that allows for that arm side run, and then he's so tall, he's coming from such a high release point that it tumbles and it's almost a sinker.
Gentry, the runner at second. Tate Wargo in the box, the pitch. Fouled away to the right side. You make a good point, Shane.
You could see it on that pitch right there. It started middle in, and by the time Wargo started his swing, it was bearing in on his hands. Might have been ball 4.
When you have such a tall frame as a pitcher, you'll sacrifice a little bit of your release point sometimes to drop your arm slot down a little bit so you can get more action on your fastball. It seems like that's the approach that Radke goes to with his pitching mechanics as he issues the free pass to Wargo to bring up the 3-hole Kylan Cunningham. Cunningham struck out swinging back in the first inning. That's the only strikeout that Radke has recorded today. Cunningham's hitting .381 this summer with a home run and 5 runs batted in. A recent commit of St. Charles Community College. That ball is popped up, and the left fielder, Ian Hickman, gets fooled. It goes behind him for a ground rule double, so Jacob Gentry will score. Wargo will advance to third base and hold up there. And Kylan Cunningham has himself an extra base hit.
Ian Hickman just got a poor read on that. He took a couple of steps in, and by the time he realized that ball was already falling over his head. On those, you read it as you see it, but the rule of thumb is to take a couple of steps back. That's just a split-second reaction. Hickman thought it was going to start sinking on him. It just carried over his head. By the time he realized he'd made a mistake, it was too late.
Woods' first pitch swinging. This is going to be deep enough for a run against Alex Hoff, who goes to third base. Strong throw, but off the mark to Ben Swords at third base. Wargo comes around to score on the sacrifice fly. Good piece of hitting there by Tommy Woods to do a job. That ball was surely deep enough to score Tate Wargo. So the second run of the bottom of the third inning comes across to score, and Kylan Cunningham advances 90 feet to third base. The inning started with a single by Jacob Gentry. Rigoni then grounded out on the broken bat. Ground out to the second baseman, Nick Hoffman. Then Wargo had a single, who just came around to score. Kylan Cunningham had a double, and Tommy Woods did a job with a sacrifice fly, 2 away, and a runner at third base for Ryan Malzahn, the right fielder. He's 5 for 13 this summer with 3 doubles and 2 runs batted in. Not a huge sample size for Malzahn. He was absent from the lineup for about a week. Doesn't have as many at-bats as a lot of his counterparts, but in those at-bats he has shown some success. A SEMO commit. Very good rising freshmen. We've seen a lot of those in this league, and it's cool to see that some of these rising freshmen who are just in high school are competing with guys who have finished high school, finished college, and are playing minor league baseball as well. It's a good mixture. Unique times call for unique measures, and that's what we have here in the Car Shield Collegiate League, but there's no problem with it. It's kudos to everyone who's out here and competing as that ball is rifled away to the right side and foul.
That's a chance for these younger guys to see some of the pitching they're going to face at the collegiate level. They haven't seen college pitching yet, so they're facing the cream of the crop here in the area, and that's only facing good pitching like that's only going to make you a better hitter.
Radke gets Malzahn looking, strands a runner at third base in Cunningham, but a couple more scratch across. Gems on top 4-1. We send it to the fourth on Car Shield Collegiate League TV. Colin Parrish, Ian Hickman, Brandon Ohm. Parrish singled and came around to score. We're talking about the Falcons when we get towards the bottom of their order. If they can have production, they can be very dangerous. Here in the top of the fourth inning, they trail 4-1. Gus Poulos back out for another inning of work. Colin Parrish had a single last time. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Falcons. That was Parrish's third hit this summer in 15 tries. Facing against the left-hander and Holy Cross commit Gus Poulos. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Here in the top of the fourth inning, Parrish has himself a 2-for-2 day, a couple of hits to left field. A good job by the left-handed hitter to go to the opposite field. For a leadoff single in the top of the fourth, that brings up Ian Hickman, who also had a single last time at the plate. He's 3 for 15 as well, identical average as Parrish. Until that at bat, can he follow here in the top of the fourth against the left-hander? Parrish 2 for 2. He stole second base last time on the first offering from Poulos as he misses upstairs. Brandon Ohm, the catcher, is next.
Put
The 3-0 offering gets in there for a strike. Here in the top of the fourth inning, Poulos working with a 3-run cushion. As there's action in the Gems bullpen, we'll see if Justin Polson will make this the final inning for the left-hander. And something cool about Justin Paulson is that a Maryville assistant coach, he gets to see a lot of his teammates, or a lot of his team that he'll coach this coming autumn. As that ball is hit toward left field, Parrish was in motion. He'll have to backtrack, but no, the ball drops in left field by Jacob Gentry. So Ian Hickman will reach on the E7, and runners on first and second. Gentry was coming up on that ball, and it drops out of his glove. So there'll be a visit to the mound. A single in air has runners on first and second. Brandon Ohm at the plate as the action in the bullpen continues to happen. The Gems left-hander Sam Lemkool. He's had a great summer. This would be his 7th appearance, but so far he's 2-1 in 9 2/3 innings pitched, and a .7 earned run average and .72 whip. He's just surrendered 6 hits in 9 2/3 and 1 walk to 8 strikeouts, but they're going to stick with Poulos, the left-hander. Runners on first and second with nobody out for Brandon Olm. The 8th place hitter in the lineup, Nick Hoffman, is on deck.
The Falcons' only run came from the bottom of their order, so the bottom of the order providing a little spark for this Falcons ball club, see if they can't fight their way back into this ball game.
Parrish at second. He singled. He's 2 for 2. Gentry made the error on Ian Hickman's fly ball to left field, and he reaches first base. He had a single back in the second. So runners on first and second for Brandon Ohm. The 1-0 offering. Missed upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. The Gems already have made 1 mound visit here in the top of the 4th, so if they go to it again, that would obviously bring out the left-hander up from the game as he misses now 3 balls and no strikes. And they stuck with Poulos, hoping he can work out of the 4th inning, and it's good to be in a stressful situation as a starting pitcher to try to get out of these times when your defense makes a miscue and you have to work around it. That's what the left-hander is working on here with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. He is working to the 8th place hitter. The bottom of the lineup due up. Brandon Olm at the plate. Nick Hoffman, the 9th place hitter, on deck. But a 3-1 count. The runner Parrish takes off. And it's a track meet out there for Colin Parrish. He took off, had a huge secondary lead, and just timed up the offering and look to the plate by Poulos. So runners at the corners now. After the stolen base, brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA for healthy living, youth development, and social responsibility. Poulos comes back and strikes out Ohm looking, so 1 away, runners at the corners. He'll try to induce a pitcher's best friend here. The ground ball double play. Runners at the corners. And now they will go to the left-hander to face Nick Hoffman as Paulson goes to Sam Lemkool. He's been terrific out of the bullpen so far this year. Can he continue that trend? Find out next. 4-1 ball game, top of the 4th. the West Palm Beach native Sam Lemkool now taking the mound. The left-hander pitches at Missouri Baptist. He threw 6 1/3 during his freshman campaign. Not going to overpower you with electric stuff, but he gets the job done, and he's done it well so far this summer. 9 2/3, and he's just surrendered 1 earned run. Has a .7 ERA. He gets a ground ball right there. Could this be 2? Tommy Woods gets it, and now Colin Parrish has to backtrack to third base. So Tommy Woods gets the runner at second base. And actually a smart play there by Tate Wargo as he threw it home to save the runner from advancing. And Lemkool on his first pitch, after we talk about his successes so far this summer, gets an out and now is 1 pitch away from stranding runners on the corners.
That's just a heads-up play there by Wargo. Knew he wasn't going to be able to turn 2. A slow-hit ground ball. And Parrish was inching towards home plate, and Wargo said, "Think again there, big guy." I think he tried to pull a fast one on me. But they weren't able to cut him down, but at least held him at third.
Lemkool 9 2/3, making his 7th appearance. He's 2-1. He's just surrendered 6 hits and has had 8 strikeouts to 1 walk. Now facing the top of the order, Alex Hoff, who's popped out a couple times. Lemkool gets the pickoff. But Nick Hoffman goes on first move and gets to second base. He had the runner, but the throw over seemed a little too risky. Now runners at second and third, still 2 outs. Lemkool looking to strand a couple runners. The Missouri Baptist southpaw, so Paulson goes from one southpaw to the next. Both a couple underclassmen, Lemkool in his freshman campaign, Poulos getting ready for that this coming fall in college. Runners on second and third for the Falcons, trying to threaten here. And this is a bigger situation than it seems in the 4th inning in a 7-inning ball game. Be like coming in the 6th. One of those 9-inning ball games, you see a lot of times that happens. Is Lemkool trying to work around. Runners at second and third, gets a swing and a miss. And he's been locked in all summer long.
Worked himself out of some tough situations, stranded some base runners, got a lot of ground balls. Not going to strike out a ton of guys, but he's going to get outs when you need it out of the bullpen.
And he's not going to walk guys, just 1 walk in 9 2/3. And like you mentioned, 8 strikeouts, but limits the hits, limits the damage. As this ball is lofted toward right field, Ryan Malzahn is back. It hits off the wall. 2 runs will score. Alex Hoff has a 2 RBI single, and he comes through clutch here in the top of the 4th inning, getting the Falcons back into this ball game. After we're talking about Lemkool and all the success he had coming in big situations, he was 1 pitch away. But Alex Hoff hit that one. Didn't get all of it, but got enough to have it hit off the wall for a 2 RBI, 2-out single.
And Ryan Malzahn was kind of caught in between. Do I try to leap and catch this, or do I just play it off the wall? I think ultimately he probably made the smart decision. If you leap and miss it, 2 runs are going to score anyway, whether you play it off the wall or leap and try to catch it. And your chances of corralling the baseball are much better if you try to play that off the wall. Instead, just hold them to a single. A couple of runs are going to score anyway. So just limit the damage, keep the runner on first base, keep the force at second in order.
Ben Swords comes to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on. Already a couple runs across here for the Falcons. Lemkool coming in relief of Gus Poulos. Who worked 3 1/3 and then was pulled to bring in the Missouri Baptist southpaw. Who's had some of the most impressive pitching statistics in this league so far, as the Webster University infielder Ben Swords pops out to the second baseman, Tate Wargo. 10 the top of the 4th. A couple runs across for the Falcons, 4-3 Gems. Matt Westfall, Lane Barrymore, Nick Wilkie due up against Devin Radke out for his fourth inning of work, and he gets the breaking ball over against Westfall for the first strike. 0-1 the count. And Shane, it's a beautiful day for baseball. The weather is perfect for some action after these past couple of weeks or past couple days. We've had to battle the one and only Mother Nature on some of these games. It's been tough.
Mother Nature and Father Time are undefeated.
They're undefeated. They've never lost, and they likely never will.
Never lost.
You said they're like the 1 seed, but the 1 seed can lose. They're in a league of their own as Westfall grounds out to the shortstop, Cade Hole. And that's the first out for Radke, who's working here into the fourth inning. We mentioned getting some extension out of the right-hander who has a big frame, good fastball, and great command of the strike zone, and that's what he's done today, one away, as Lane Barrymore comes to the plate in the bottom of the fourth.
That was a nice play by Hole going to his backhand. Knew he had time to get Westfall at first. Doesn't run particularly well. So Hole knew he could backhand, set his feet, and fire a strong throw on the first base. Just give yourself a chance.
Radke has surrendered 4 runs today. 3 of them are earned. He gets the breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2 the count against Lane Barrymore. Hitting 200 on the summer with 3 runs batted in, grounded out to the shortstop. Back in the second inning, the 0-2 offering. Up and in. A ball and 2 strikes. The big 6'6" right-hander delivers the 1-2. Then scoots away from Brandon Olm for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 6'6" righty. It's so crucial. His big frame is able to miss a lot of barrels because of the angle that he comes at a lot of these hitters with his sinking fastball. He appeared in a couple games for Lewis and Clark Community College this spring, went to Rogersville High School. He grounds this one away, and coming into today, we mentioned had a nice scoreless appearance streak of 9 innings. 9 1/3. He had a .75 earned run average and a .85 walks, hits, inning pitched whip. Here in his 5th appearance, first time starting, he's impressed. He's been good out of the bullpen, but it's nice to see him work to a lineup multiple times to see how his repertoire plays, because you see traditional arms out of the bullpen may have 2 pitches, but a lot of times as a starter, that secondary pitch has to be there the second time through the lineup to keep the hitters off balance. And it seems like that's what he's done today, and it's nice to see him get in a situation against a Gems team who's really swinging the bat well as of late. They're hitting .213 as a team on the summer, but they've been much better the past few games, now back to .500 after dropping 4 games in a row as Barrymore reaches first base. Nick Wilkie struck the ball well to right field back in the second inning, but was retired in search of his first hit here this summer. The pitch missed low. Barrymore reaches on the free pass from Devin Radke. The first walk that the right-hander has surrendered. No action in the bullpen for the Falcons or the Gems. Lemcool came in, worked out of a situation, 6-4-3, and the ground ball double play works Radke out of that situation here in the 4th inning. To the 5th we go, 4-3, Gems on top. This inning is brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco's been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if you or your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or electronics to recycle, you can call Interco Recycling at 1-877-258-3601 or go to the web at www.itcscrap.com. Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. 3-4-5, the meet coming up for the Falcons. Wade Stouse, Cade Hull, and Austin Schmidt against the left-hander Sam Lemkool, who came in last inning after Gus Boulos worked 3 1/3, surrendered 5 hits and 2 earned runs. As one of the runs was charged to Lemkool after coming into the ballgame. A swing and a miss on the first offering, 0-1 the count. A 4-3 ball game. Lemkool trying to hold on to this lead. Already with a couple wins this summer out of the bullpen. Making his team high 7th appearance of the summer. The Missouri Baptist left-hander threw 6 innings and change this past spring at Missouri Baptist. Now facing off against Wade Stouse. The pitch missed outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Started all 17 games as a redshirt sophomore this spring. Wade Stouse did. A big left-handed bat. But a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes against the left-hander Lemkool. That brings up Cade Hull to the plate.
Or how good has Sam Lemkool been? He's just your good old-fashioned stopper out of the bullpen. Not huge strikeout stuff, but he's going to get outs at an efficient rate. Not going to walk a lot of guys. Weak contact. Very deceptive left-hander.
Hull first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play. A strike thrower. That's what this left-hander is. The 0-1 pitch is smoked to the left side, but coming in to get it is Jacob Gentry. 2 away for Austin Schmidt. Hitting .343 this summer with 14 runs batted in, 4 home runs. The Lindenwood commit. It's Tommy Woods playing back on Austin Schmidt. He gave him the little, hey, I could drop one down for you. Woods playing so far back. They know likely never the case here with Austin Schmidt, especially with 2 away. Nobody on. Here against Lemkool in the top of the 5th inning where the Falcons trail by a run. They do need base runners, though. This ball's hit high to right field. It has a chance. Back at the track at the wall, and it's gone. Malzahn jumped up, but it went out of the ballpark. Austin Schmidt with his league-leading 5th home run of the summer as he trots around the base pass to tie this ball game. Austin Schmidt with 5 jacks on the summer as he goes to the opposite field for a solo shot, a 2-out bomb to tie the ball game.
Maybe Tommy Woods is wishing he would have laid down a bunt instead. Would have kept the Gems on top, but boy, Austin Schmidt just continues to hit balls out of the ballpark, and he's taking balls the opposite way too.
He's been so good, and he has some power. He continues to rake an RBI machine. Oh, and Austin Schmidt is 15 runs batted in this summer. This is the 13th game for the Falcons, by the way. You can tally him in for at least one run batted in every single game, with 5 home runs as well to lead the league. As Calvin Parrish comes to the plate, he's had a nice little day, 2 for 2 with a couple runs scored, now facing off against Lemcool after the ball game's tied here in the top of the 5th inning. Charlie Bornoff, Shane Holsey, Will Connerly here with you on Car Shield Collegiate League TV. We're setting ourselves up for another nail-biter as we head down the stretch toward the latter stages of this ball game. It's been a well-played game today so far. You saw Devin Radke likely to go back out for another inning, as there's been no action at all in the bullpen for the Falcons. He's trying to stretch him out to 5 innings. Here in the top of the 5th, though, the Falcons tie the ball game back up for him in a clutch situation with 2 outs. Five home runs for the Lindenwood commit. The full count pitch. Parrish a swing and a miss. 4-4 ball game. We're all knotted up after the Austin Schmidt league-leading 5th home run of the summer. We send it to the bottom of the 5th. 4-4 is your score. Austin Schmidt ties the ball game up with his league-leading 5th home run of the summer. He hit it to the right field bullpen with 2 outs off the reliever Sam Lemcool. 4-4 is your score. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th inning. Devin Radke out for another inning of work. Working into the 5th against 9-1-2 for the Gems. Jacob Gentry, who had a single last time at the plate and came around to score for his 5th hit of the summer. Then back to the top of the lineup, Jack Rigoni, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. The offering from the 6'6" right-hander, taken for a strike. Tied ball game. Gus Poulos started things off for the Gems on the mound, then Lemcool came in. They each surrendered a couple runs. Gentry slips out of the box, and Cade Holt throws it across the diamond. One away here to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Jack Rigoni coming to the plate.
Number 16, Jack Rigoni.
Rigoni 0 for 2. Pitch missed outside. Brandon Olm has been the battery partner with the starting pitcher Radke, who has thrown 67 pitches. Through 4 1/3. 2 balls, no strikes against Jack Rigoni, the former SIUE starting outfielder. Was at Jefferson College this past spring. A ton of speed, ton of talent. We talk about it a lot. 2-1 the count. Taking for strike 2. This game's going to come down to the wire, it looks like. Both teams looking for base runners here in the later innings. Gems working on trying to get Radke out of this ball game. As there's a broken bat and a ground out for Rigoni. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A couple of broken bats today for Devin Radke. These hitters, it's tough to get around on that sinking fastball. When your fastball has movement, you'll get a lot of those cracked lumbers.
It's a bad day for a bat when Mr. Rigoni's at the plate. He's broken the bat the last 2 times he's been at the plate.
Have to make a trip to the store after this one, won't you?
Maybe a couple trips.
Maybe a couple. Right back at ya! Devin Radke with the play. A line drive, and he went up and said, look what I found.
Good thing he's 6'6".
Oh, man. We're tied, and we send it to the 6th. We send you to Shane Holsey. We got a nail-biter, Shane. Coming down to the wire. 4-4 your score on Carcio Collegiate League TV.
Once again, this inning brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. Their 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility is on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, computers, or electronics in need of recycling, you can give Interco a call at 1-877-258-3601, or you can head to the web and type in itcscrap.com. You'll find them there as well. Either place, you can find them for all your recycling needs. 1-877-258-3601, itcscrap.com. Either way, you can reach them. Our friends at Interco Recycling, a Metaltronics recycler since 1996. So the Gems can't answer the home run by Austin Schmidt, and we head to the top of the 6th. The nail biter coming down to the wire. All knotted up at 4 as we head to the top of the 6th. 3 unanswered runs for the Falcons, and we'll have a pinch hitter for the Falcons. Pinch hitting for Ian Hickman is number 5, David Olenek, so he'll lead things off. 7, 8, 9 for the Falcons. So Olenek leads things off against Sam Limcool, who's given up a couple of earned runs. Came in with a 4-1 lead, surrendered the base hit by Alex Hoff, 2 RBI base hit, just one of those runs charged to him, however. And then the solo homer by Austin Schmidt. So an inning and 2/3 works so far for Limcool. As he works here in the 6th, no action for the Gems out in their bullpen. And a tie ball game, 4-4 here in the top of the 6th. And a swing and a miss. Olenek comes off the bench and will have to head right back. A strikeout by Limcool. Second strikeout for Limcool.
Number 22, Brandon Hall.
Make that strikeout number 3 for Limcool. Back-to-back strikeouts. Starts the 6th inning the same way he ended the 5th. So now 2 full innings work for Limcool. 3 strikeouts. Couple of hits, but they've brought in 3 runs. 2 of them charged to Limcool. Gus Poulos worked 3 1/3, gave way to Limcool. 2 runs charged to Poulos. 2 to Limcool in 2 full innings. Radke has worked through 5 for the Falcons. After surrendering 4 runs the first 3 innings, has worked back-to-back scoreless innings to keep this ball game tied. And it was a 4-1 Gems lead. And 3 runs the last couple of innings for the Falcons have tied things up. Austin Schmidt with his league-leading 5th home run and 15th RBI tie the ball game at 4. And a foul tip at the plate by Brandon Olm, strike 2. Olm has walked and struck out. 0 for 1 on the day for him. Doing the catching duties, Austin Schmidt, the designated hitter. Wade Stouse at first. Primarily see Stouse and Schmidt split time behind the plate. But Olm getting the start here this afternoon. After the Falcons just played last night, quick turnaround. So a day game after a night game. Olm gets a start behind the plate, giving Schmidt at least a break in the field. Stouse at first base. 2-2 from Limcool. Outside. So now a full count to the backstop, wearing number 22, Brandon Olm. Out of St. Charles Community College. And the Missouri Baptist left-hander, Sam Limcool, delivers. Outside. So a 1-out base runner in the bottom of the order. Trying to provide another spark here for the Falcons. Nick Hoffman has hit into a couple of fielders' choices. Stole a couple of bags. Both have been 5-4 fielders' choices, so 0 for 2 on the day for Hoffman. And that's hit up the middle. Wargo on one hop, a glove flip to Barrymore on to first. 4-6-3, roll him up. The glove flip by Wargo and a pretty double play turn there by the Gems. We're through 5.5. Gems coming to bat. All knotted up at 4. It's coming down to the wire here on Carshoe Collegiate League TV.
You're over 86?
Olm might be the most boring hitter in this league. A catcher. He walked last night. He either walks or strikes out.
Did he go to Holt?
No.
His name, though. Ohm.
Olm. And it's a boring name, too.
Dude, Austin Schmidt, though, leading the league in homers. That's pretty big time. And a Lindenwood Lion, you may go watch him play right in your backyards, Mr. Cromer. He told Tommy Woods. Did you see him do that? Because Tommy was like in the fucking grass.
Kylan Cunningham will get things started for the Gems. Devin Radke back up for inning number 6. He's thrown 77 pitches through 5 innings so far, a couple of scoreless innings in a row. Andrew Fay starting to play catch down there in the Falcons bullpen. I would imagine this would be Radke's final inning. 4 hits, 4 runs, couple of strikeouts, couple of walks through 5 innings for Radke. And Cunningham pops that one down the left field line. The new left fielder, David Olenek, puts it away for out number 1. So 2 pitches and an out. Meat of the Gems order. 3, 4, and 5, and Radke gets the 3-hitter Cunningham on just 2 pitches. Tommy Woods trying to get something started here with 1 away. As he looks at 1 upstairs.
And now Radke at 81 pitches. You'd think this be his last inning, and this is an opportunity for the Gems, especially with the top of the lineup coming up for the Falcons next inning, as Fay gets loose over there in the bullpen for the Falcons.
Tommy Woods had a sac fly the last time he was at the plate to center field, a deep fly ball. 0 for 1 on the day for him after the sac fly with an RBI. As he chops that one foul. That RBI was RBI number 5. So just 2 hits on the summer, but 5 RBIs for Tommy Woods. Two-two count here against Devin Radke. And that's hit up the middle. Hole tries to play it on a hop, and it scoots on into center field. So a base hit for Woods, and he's on base with 1 away. A well-struck ball up the middle. Tough play for Cade Hole.
Woods an on-base machine. Above 500, he's getting on base over 50% of the time, but just his 3rd hit of the summer. It's good to see him get some knocks for his great plate discipline and power that he has.
It's nice to see a hitter get rewarded for working a solid at-bat, whether it be a base on balls, which he's done countless times this summer, or
just
getting a base hit, a well-struck ball.
Or well-struck balls that end up in outs that he's had. The batting average on balls in play is an important statistic to look at a lot of times with hitters who may not have the greatest luck. But Tommy Woods is a talented hitter, and now the go-ahead run here.
Ryan Malzahn a chance to get a rally started here for the Gems, trying to take the lead. There is some action down there in the Gems bullpen. As Woods takes off for second, throw down by Ohm is a strike. And Tommy Woods is caught stealing. Absolutely perfect throw from Brandon Ohm, and Woods is cut down for out number 2.
Brandon Ohm, one of his first games at the backstop, and he says, "Don't try to run on me." And Tommy Woods is pretty quick, but not quick enough. Quick pop time right there by Brandon Ohm. Impressive.
Impressive throw there from Ohm, but Malzahn works a 4-pitch walk. So Woods was trying to get in scoring position. An aggressive play late in the ball game. You don't mind it. It took a perfect throw, and Ohm made it right on the money. Tommy Woods now 3 for 4 trying to steal bases. It was a perfect 3 for 3 before being caught there by Ohm. As Westfall cracks that one into left field, Olenek to the wall, and you can kiss it goodbye and give the Gems a 6-4 lead. Matt Westfall is second homer, and the Gems are on top, 6-4.
There you go, Westfall. A couple knocks now this summer. Both his home runs, big flies to left field. You got Didn't get all of that one. You ain't seen him get all of it. He's cleared the bleachers out there, but it does the job and gives the Gems the lead. Off the starting pitcher, Radke, who's working here into the 6th inning. He's thrown 5 2/3, but a clutch 2-out shot by the catcher.
So Westfall, a second home run, by far the shortest of the two. Not nearly the big fly we saw him a few weeks ago, but counts just the same, a 2-run homer. Did not get all of it by any stretch of the imagination, he'll tell you that. But the big catcher had just enough muscle to get it out of here.
Did a good job. He squared the baseball up for sure and put a good swing on it. And that's what you need late in the ballgame. He's already seen Radke a couple times. He redeems himself after grounding out against the right-hander twice, and he gets a pitch right in his wheelhouse, didn't miss it, and struck it well to left field. A great job by Westfall making an adjustment, his 3rd at-bat of the game.
That's 6'3", 225 pounds. He's got enough strength to muscle that one out here. That was more of a muscle home run than anything. The raw power Westfall has is evident. He has a couple of home runs now on the summer, and he gives the Gems a 6-4 lead.
And Westfall did a good job, and I think this is important for hitters early in the ballgame to get as much information as you can against the starting pitcher. You don't just have bats during the game. You can treat every at-bat, that every guy he faces, as new information to see how his stuff plays.
And Barrymore goes down looking. So Radke's through 6 innings, but the Falcons trail at 6-4 after the 2-run homer by Westfall. And the Gems will try to close it out in the top of the 7th. Last chance for the Falcons coming up. On to try to close things out for the 3rd day in a row, Adam Drury. He's converted on his last 2 save opportunities in the last couple of days, and he's got another one here with a 6-4 lead. Top of the Falcons order coming up. Alex Hoff will lead things off. Ben Swords and Wade Stouse to follow as they try to come back for the 2nd time. 2-run homer by Matt Westfall has the Gems on top. 2-out, 2-run homer as Hoff gets things started with a bang. A gapper into right center, and Hoff, the speedy outfielder, will trot into second base. A leadoff double. So Hoff wastes no time with the leadoff double. And now that brings a tying run to the plate, Ben Swords. Second hit of the day for Hoff. He's now 2 for 4. Drove in a couple of runs with a single back in the 4th. Ben Swords 1 for 3 on his day so far.
Drury trying to get the 3rd save in as many days. He's already in a tough situation here.
He drops in a slow breaking ball that just missed.
But he's kind of become the closer for the Gems. They've only had 2 saves on the year. They both come from Drury, and they were both in the last 2 days. So, as you mentioned.
And that's hit into right field. That's going to get down in front of Malzahn. Back-to-back base hits, and now
here we go.
The go-ahead run comes to the plate.
Look who's up.
Mr. Wade Stouse steps to the plate. 1 for 3 on his day so far. Just missed a home run back in the 3rd. Hit one off the car shield sign in right field off that big wall. A flyout and a strikeout. 1 for 3, a chance to come through here in the 7th.
And the Falcons are trying to get off the schneid. They've lost 3 in a row. The Gems are on a roll. They've won 3 in a row. And Adam Drury's trying to make it 4 with his 3rd save in as many days.
Stouse, first split swing, ropes that one into right center. And that's going to hop over the wall, a ground rule double. And that brings in a run to cut the deficit to 6-5. Stouse with a ground rule double to right center. That's the 3rd time he's absolutely laid into a ball. Second time he's gotten a hit. And he gets a double out of it. Now he's the go-ahead run in scoring position.
You talk about the double. That single that he had was probably hit even harder, hitting it off the top of the wall. But both of them, he smokes them. And now 90 feet away, the tying run.
Cade Hole with a couple of runners in scoring position. Tying run 90 feet away. Ben Swords. Go-ahead run 180 feet away, Wade Stouse. Three straight base hits to get things started in the 7th. Couple of doubles and a single. And runners on 2nd and 3rd. And do the Falcons have some 7th inning magic?
Seems like they do. And, yeah, there's an open base, but I don't think so with the guy on deck who leads the league in home runs and runs batted in.
Austin Schmidt awaiting on deck. As Hole rips that one to right, Malzahn is under it. Swords tags, and he will come home to tie the ball game. A sac fly for Cade Hole, and we're all tied up at 6. The 7th inning wildness continues.
The wild inning. And Austin Schmidt with a chance to make it a go-ahead. Man, we've seen some great late-inning baseball. You see the streaks that are prevalent with the Gems winning 3 in a row. The Falcons have lost 3 in a row, trying to shift that narrative.
Dangerous man at the plate, Austin Schmidt. He went deep his last time to tie the ball game. And for the 2nd time, the Falcons have erased a multiple-run deficit to tie the ball game. What a treat we have here in Game 1.
Indeed, sir. The league leader in runs batted in. The go-ahead run in scoring position for the slugger.
Couldn't draw it up any better if you're Josh Kiesel. Outfield straight away. Go-ahead run out at 2nd. Wade Stouse. Austin Schmidt, the league home run leader, the league RBI leader at the plate.
Schmidt steps out of the box a couple times. Now Drury steps off the mound. A very, very important at bat. They want to make sure they have everything right.
The 0-1 from Drury. Down low.
The game comes.
Will Schmidt see a fastball? One ball, one strike. Runner on second base, Wade Stouse. Austin Schmidt at the plate. Check swing, and it missed. Dangerous count here if you're Adam Drury.
Barish, who's on deck, has already had a couple hits today. He's swinging it well this afternoon. Important pitch here.
2-1 count. Will Drury attack Schmidt? He paints a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2.
Needed a perfect pitch. He made it a perfect pitch.
Needed to make a perfect pitch, and he did on the outside corner. Colin Parrish on deck. He's working on a 2-hit day.
He's going to need another perfect pitch, though.
It was 3 straight hits to start the inning, then the sac fly by Cade Hole. And Schmidt rips that one down the left field line. That's going to get down and fair, and the Falcons are going to take the lead. Wade Stouse comes across to score as it goes all the way to the corner, and Austin Schmidt comes through once again with RBI number 16, and this one gives the Falcons a 7-6 lead. So still just 1 away, and the Falcons can keep adding more. Colin Parrish starting with 2 hits. As Schmidt trades places with Stouse and gives the Falcons a lead. Three runs here in the top of the 7th. It was a double, a single, a double, a sac fly, and another double. And have brought in 3 runs. 2 RBIs on the day, 2 extra base hits for Austin Schmidt. And he continues to torch Carshill Collegiate League pitching. They had the top of the order coming up, and they delivered. For the first 5 reaching base, the one that didn't reach base was a sac fly by Cade Hole. Adam Drury trying to minimize the damage. Colin Parrish, a 2 for 3 day with a couple of stolen bases. Playing right field, hitting 6th. And he chops that one up the middle. Wargo on a couple of hops across his body for out number 2. So now Drury trying to keep the lead at 1 and give his offense a chance in the bottom half. He'll have to contend with David Olenek here. Olenek, the Western Illinois Leatherneck, along with Jim Gage Cruz, not in the lineup today. Former St. Louis Patriots standout. Absolutely tore it up as a senior. 480 with a 577 on base, 9 homers. And he rips that one to left center, and he's going to double the Falcons' lead. Olenek with a line drive base hit, and the Falcons score their 4th run of the inning as Schmidt comes across to score. Third
Falcons,
RBI for Olenek.
Man, they've produced here in this final frame. That's going to be up to them to close it out.
5 hits in the inning.
They were tired of that losing streak they were on of 3 games, and the offense came alive in big fashion against Drury.
4 runs charged to Drury. He came in with a 6-4 lead. Gave up 3 straight hits and then a sac fly, then a double, then a ground out, and another base hit. 5 of the first 7 have reached via the base hit. Make that 12 hits on the day for the Falcons. Four of them going for extra bases. As Olm chops that one foul for strike 2. Olm has walked a couple of times. Sandwiched in between those 2 walks was a strikeout. 0 for 1 for the backstop. Made a absolutely perfect throw to gun down Tommy Woods last inning at second base. 1-2. Inside. Two from Drury is outside. 3-2. 26 pitches in the inning for Drury. And strike 3 looking. Olm goes down for the second time, but the Falcons rally for 4 in the top of the 7th. And we head to the bottom half. Gems trying to answer. They need a couple. They trail at 8-6. Last chance coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Andrew Fay on to try to close things out for the Falcons. Drury couldn't get the job done in the top half. Drury with a 2-run lead here in the bottom half. 4 runs in the inning for the Falcons as they rattled 5 hits and 4 runs. And Gage Cruz will pinch hit for Nick Wilkie to get things started here in the bottom of the 7th. So Wilkie 0 for 2 on the day, and Gage Cruz will pinch hit against Andrew Fay. First pitch swing, fouls it straight back. And a broken bat heads up on the infield. Fay giving chase a slide, and he can't make the catch. I don't think Olm ever found it.
Right there from the pitcher.
Heck of an effort. He's a two-way player.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good athlete.
Love to see it. He's sprinting full out to get that. He's telling his catcher, hey, man.
Help me out a little bit. He'll take his time getting back to the mound, and especially with Gage Cruz, that broken bat. The second time we've seen Mr. Fay on the mound. Pitched an inning and 2/3 against the Eagles back on July 12th, or July 10th rather. Seen him at shortstop. Formerly at Wentzville Liberty High School, John Wood Community College. Head to Indiana University Southeast. NAIA school, a very strong baseball program in NAIA. One and two count here to Gage Cruz, pinch hitting to lead off the seventh. Gems need a couple of runs to stay alive, and that's not going to help as Cruz pops that one up. Ohm makes the catch for out number one. So the pinch hitter is retired, and now Jacob Gentry.
Number 11, Jacob Gentry.
2 outs to go for the Gems. They need a couple of runs. The Falcons have come back twice to either tie or take the lead. They faced a 4-1 deficit, came back to tie it. Austin Schmidt delivered the game-tying RBI on a solo home run, and he delivers the go-ahead RBI in the 7th. 16 runs batted in for Austin Schmidt.
And we've talked about it all summer. Like, he's been so good. He's been so good, and he has been. And his ability to hit the ball to all fields has been the most impressive thing so far.
Fay looking sharp out of the bullpen here in the first couple of hitters, and he has a 1-2 count to Jacob Gentry. And strike three called. Back-to-back outs for Andrew Fay. He has his first strikeout, and the Gems are down to their final out. Andrew Fay coming in firing bullets. He's only 5'10", a $150. But it looks like he's bringing it here this afternoon.
He's ready to go, too. He's on the mound quickly, and he's ready. He's letting it eat. I love it.
Trying to close things out and pick up the save. And the final hope for the Gems is Jack Rigoni, a 1-0 delivery from Fay. Breaking ball, hit to first, and it takes a bad hop on Staus, and he recovers to flip to Fay for out number 3. A 1-2-3 7th for Andrew Fay, and he closes things out. And a thrilling 8-6 Falcons victory. They had to come back twice, and they came back in the 7th with 4 runs. Austin Schmidt with a go-ahead RBI, and he has a 2-for-4 day. And the Falcons get back on the right track. They snap a 3-game losing streak and move to 5-7-1. Gems fall to 5-6. Boy, what a way to start this afternoon. A full slate of baseball. We got 2 more games coming up this evening. We're going to sign things off for now, but we'll have a news stream for you at 5:30, Corn Belters and Cavemen. And then Eagles and Hoots, still 2 more games left here on this beautiful Wednesday for baseball here in O'Fallon, Missouri. For Will Connerly, Charlie Bornoff, I'm Shane Hosey. We'll see you in about 3 hours or so right here on Carsfield Collegiate League TV. Hope you can join us.